The race session is at Red Bull Ring SA 1/4 Schleife National Circuit in Spielberg, Austria. The wind speed is 11 km/h from the north-northeast. The death ray is first. Sergenkos from Australia is second on softs. Krakow from Australia is P3 on softs. V. Cracer from Australia is fourth on softs. Simdad from New Zealand is P5 on softs. Charlie Mendez from France is sixth on softs. Dre from Australia is P7 on softs. 10 minutes remaining in the session. Race start. The death ray is P1. Kraka is second. Dre in WA 1/4 RTH is fifth. Simdad in Rent is P5. V. Cracer is P6, 0.1 behind Simdad. V. Cracer passed Simdad for P5. Charlie Mendez from France is 7th, 0.4 ahead of UNR3AL. UNR3AL from Australia is 8th on mediums, 0.3 behind Charlie Mendez. Krakow from Australia is second, 0.3 behind the death ray. Dre is sixth, 0.5 ahead of Charlie Mendez. Charlie Mendez was 0.8 faster last lap. Kraka is P2, 0.1 behind the death ray. Simdad is sixth battling Dre. Charlie Mendez is P7 battling Simdad. Charlie Mendez lost P7 to UNR3AL. UNR3AL is 8th, 0.2 behind Charlie Mendez. Charlie Mendez is 7th, 0.3 ahead of UNR3AL. UNR3AL is 8th, 0.2 behind Charlie Mendez. UNR3AL passed Charlie Mendez for 7th. Charlie Mendez on lap 5 is 8th, 0.2 behind UNR3AL. Simdad in WA 1/4 RTH is P7, 0.3 ahead of Charlie Mendes. Charlie Mendes in Rent on lap 5 is 8th, 0.3 behind Simdad. Buck from Australia on lap 6 is P9 on softs, 0.4 behind Charlie Mendes. Kraka is P2, 0.4 behind the Death Ray. Five minutes remaining in the session. Charlie Mendes is 8th, 0.4 behind Simdad. Buck is 9th, 0.3 behind Charlie Mendes. Buck passed Charlie Mendes for 8th. Buck lost P8 to Charlie Mendes. Kraka is P2, 0.4 behind the Death Ray. Dre is P6 battling UNR3AL. UNR3AL was 1.7 faster last lap. Dre passed UNR3AL for 5th. UNR3AL is P6, 0.4 ahead of Simdad. Buck in Castrol Edge is 9th, 0.3 behind Charlie Mendes. Dre in WA14th RTH is 6th, 0.4 behind UNR3AL. Buck on lap 8 is P9, 0.3 behind Charlie Mendes. V Cracer is P3, 0.4 behind Sergenkos. Dre on lap 9 is 6th, 0.4 behind UNR3AL. Buck on lap 9 is P9, 0.4 behind Charlie Mendes. V Cracer is 3rd, 0.2 behind Sergenkos. Buck in Castrol Edge on lap 10 is 9th, 0.3 behind Charlie Mendes. V Cracer in Red Bull Mobile on lap 10 is P3, 0.3 behind Sergenkos. Sergenkos is P3. Best lap is a 0:50.015. 0.401 off the fastest lap. The Death Ray from Australia is P4 on softs, 0.1 behind Sergenkos. V Cracer is P2, 0.9 behind Kraka. Buck is 9th, 0.8 behind Charlie Mendes. Kraka in Red Bull Mobile is first, 0.3 ahead of V Cracer. The leader has just finished the race. V Cracer finished P1. Kraka finished P2. Sergenkos finished P3. The Death Ray finished P4. UNR3AL is 5th. UNR3AL finished P5. Dre finished 6th. Simdad finished 7th. Charlie Mendes finished 8th. Buck finished 9th. Kuti 787 is 10th. Kuti 787 from Australia finished 10th.